even know what to say. I don't know what to say. SummerSlam has just ended. No joke. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, it's funny. Brock could show back up, right? I mean, literally could just show back up and people would have popped. Like, I felt like with what happened on Rampage last night, no way they could do this show and not have something big. I mean, they had a couple surprises tonight. One, I was excited, and then it kind of fell flat for me. I'll talk about it here in a little bit, but I mean, Brock Lesnar, glorious beard, man bun, and all comes out at the end of the show with what was really a brilliantly done match. Give Cena just enough offense to look good, and as soon as the match is over, usher his ass out, and Brock freaking Lesnar shows up. And I kid you not, I had thought about him showing up. It's like, but SummerSlam, the next thing is Extreme Rules. What are we going to do? Draw this out to Saudi Arabia? It's probably what they're going to do. In October, Brock making sporadic appearances here or there. Heyman's face when he's looking at Brock Lesnar. No, Brock. Brock looks jacked. Of course, he doesn't look cut. Like, he's big, but he doesn't look cut. Not like he did in his photos, but Brock looks like he's just been sitting on the farm, just kind of having a good time, and they're like, hey, Brock, you see, somebody showed up last night. How much money for you to show up tonight and stare down our best? And he's like, yeah, he threw out a number, and he showed up. Brock Lesnar came back to stare down Roman Reigns, and it's an interesting story. For sure, it's going to be a super interesting story, but oh my God. Just Paul Heyman's reaction just makes me laugh because it was so like, he looked like he was crying, begging him, no, don't, Brock, don't do it. And yeah, like I said, this came after what was actually a really good match, but with Brock showing up as soon as it overshadowed everything else. The win, everything, and I am interested legitimately in seeing a heel Roman Reigns taking on a face Brock Lesnar. But a face Brock Lesnar without a mouthpiece is not good. It's not good at all. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what happens. Brock coming back's not bad for business. By any means, it's not bad for business. It's really not. It's really, actually, really good for business. And I am legitimately interested. I am legitimately ready to see where this goes. Now, the first half of my notes for the show are short notes, not super dived into the matchups. And I didn't want to be super note heavy tonight because, one, I was working up till about 9 o'clock tonight, a couple hours before the show ends. So got the first couple hours at work, taking notes as much as I could. Then the second 2 hours, got to do a lot more. The triple threat match for the Raw Women's title, I was in my car that whole half hour it was on. So I missed all of that. I lost internet. I had to backtrack a little bit and then kind of on my phone while I watched it on my TV to try to catch up on both, but I got some notes. So I'll start off talking with, the main event, which is the biggest thing. it had a huge, big fight feel to it and everything. And like I said, as good as it was, Brock Lesnar coming back completely overshadows it. And I find that to be hilarious. Hot damn, man. This was not one of the good SummerSlams. This is actually, there were some really good matches on the card. I did really well on my predictions, by the way, in case anyone was curious. I did super good, so yay me. But this SummerSlam was, I don't know, I guess for a lack of a better word, lackluster. Yeah, lackluster is a way to put it. I'm not going to lie, I'm exhausted. It's been one hell of a week. Finished my shift today. I hit 80 hours in seven days time. So yeah, you do the math. But this night, after seeing what I saw last night and then hearing that CM Punk has been in talks with WWE off and on for a year and a half, that's insane. That is insane. They tried to do a couple big returns tonight, and they had the initial pops, right? The initial pops for both were really great, but man, none of it's going to top CM Punk last night. And no joke, and I know this is a WWE show, and why are you talking about AEW? Because it did so much better. It was great. It was fantastic. Fantastic, man. But I digress. I'll digress. But the pops were just like they tried to give us a good show, but it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It didn't match the hype, perhaps. I don't know. It just didn't come across as good as I'd hoped. Good matchups, some really good matchups, and then there were some booking decisions that were just like, why? There were some matches that were on here I was just like, why? Didn't make any freaking sense. But then you had 2 or 3 matchups that were stellar. Oh, there was a kickoff match that I didn't know was there, and I turned on the Peacock service literally as the match was starting. Didn't see that one coming, I suppose. I'm fighting back a yawn. There, it's out. I'm telling you, it's been a fight all day to not fall asleep. And being that it's 11:30 my time now, got 3 bottles of water. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, how long I'm going to decide to ramble. I got some old school notes. Definitely the biggest thing on this show was the main event. First thing I probably would be asked was, what did I think was the best match on the card? To me, the best match on the card overall was Edge versus Seth Rollins. That thing tore down the fucking house. Seth Rollins and Edge killed it. Seth coming out dressed like a fucking pirate. Edge coming out to his brood theme, and then that cutting into, you think you know me. Dude. Like, it was all great. And the match lived up to the hype and the build, and it was a brutal match. And there was a few very physical matches. Sheamus versus Damian Priest was physical. You could say Roman Cena was physical. Goldberg Lashley was physical, but in a different way. Is how I'll put it. I'll get to it. And then, yeah, like I said, there's just worst match of the night. Probably Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss, if I'm being honest. And while there was another match that went way shorter and was booked really not good, I still think the other one was trash. The build was stupid. Eva fucking Marie is on a pay-per-view when she shouldn't be. You know, just not good. I do want to touch on Lashley and Goldberg before I actually start diving into the main show itself and I really get into it and start going through my matches. It would figure right when I start the stream, I'd start to yawn. It's like once they start, they don't stop. I'm going to need a really good long sleep after this. But I didn't expect a long match. I didn't expect a great match. And I hoped that this match would happen. And that this match would be done and over with. And we could move on. Lashley could move on to whatever. And the way they set the ending of this match up, it's like they set it up for another match. Are these two going to have a fucking match at Extreme Rules? Or is Goldberg going to go away for a month, let his leg heal, and then he's going to come back, and we're going to do a fucking match we're going to have Goldberg and Lesnar both competing for titles in Saudi Arabia? Because they love Goldberg and Saudi, and Goldberg has one match left on his deal. I mean, oh, come on. I wanted to just be over, and the match was garbage. Goldberg should not be wrestling anymore. And I'm not saying this because he's old. I'm not saying this because I have some hate for Goldberg. No, I'm saying this because Goldberg legitimately does not look good. He legitimately looks like trash. I gotta fix my calendar. Like, this isn't a I dislike Goldberg thing. He looked bad and old, and he couldn't lift Lashley up. And I get it. Part of it was part of the angle. But could he really have lifted Lashley? Like, just on pick him up for Power Slam. He almost dropped him both times. Stop. No more Goldberg, please. But what are they going to do? They're going to push him. They're going to push him into the fucking Saudi show. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And it was garbage. I'm trying to get my hair as luscious as Brock's was, you know? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for the match when I get to it. I'm going to do my job as a professional. And that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully at least 2 people watch this review today. Because I put a lot of work into this in the thumbnail, okay? I put a lot of work into this in the last couple of days to get ready for this show. And I'm putting a lot of work into my AEW All Out thumbnail and stuff. I'm working on that already. Speaking of AEW, I think now would be a good time, perhaps, to talk about it. As an update, I am still doing an AEW 2K20 off of the WWE 2K20 game. And I do have a match card. I have a match card for my All Out show. Remember, Friday, September 3rd, I will be... felt like I got something cut. I will be doing a preview for the show, as well as kind of like a schedule for what's going to happen following that week. My uploads, what they're going to look like going forward, when everything goes up, etc., etc. I'm already recording. I'm already in the stages of pre-taping some of the other shows. I can tell you now, all pay-per-views that I do will be premieres So that way they kind of have like a bigger feel than just my normal whatevers. And they're going to be as live as I can make them be, if that makes sense. But they will be as live as I can make them be. Hell yes. Also, TeePublic, teepublic.com/YoBroNation. You guys go there, get the t-shirts like this one. And I'm thinking of a couple new shirt designs. I want to release this Yo Bro Nation shirt with the SummerSlam design. I want to do that. I might do a couple versions of that. I'm not sure yet. But I know I'm going to release something SummerSlam related because it's SummerSlam time, and I think it'd just be fun. And in honor of CM Punk, I'm coming up with an idea for a CM Punk inspired shirt. I have ideas we'll cycle through. So a couple new shirts will finally go up. And when they do, I'll show them off. And you guys can, go and buy them if you want to buy them. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, both at YoBroNation. Follow us on there. You'll likely get updates when videos are popping up. We do polls. We are doing giveaways occasionally, which I still have stuff to give away from July. I need personal information if your name was drawn. I've PM'd you people. PM me back, please. Thank you. And that's pretty much it for that. So let's go ahead and... Oh, man, let's talk SummerSlam. Oh, I'm so excited, right? So, yes, there was a kickoff show. Allegiant Stadium, 51,336 in this building in Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the Las Vegas Raiders. That sounds dirty coming out of my mouth. Just saying. The kickoff show was Big E taking on Baron Corbin, who has the briefcase, of course, and he's taking the briefcase back, or trying to get the briefcase back. That's the basis of what he's doing. So, and God, I didn't see the match. I missed it. I used the bathroom, and by the time I came out, the match was over. But I know Big E won. I saw the graphic afterwards. So Big E got the briefcase back in his possession. I don't know. Maybe they carry this on further into SmackDown. They have another rematch, and then another. I don't know. So the show proper does start, and they actually had kind of similar to what they did for like the Royal Rumble. They had it to where, it's kind of like the baseball field. They come out through the tunnel, they come out through the dugout in this, but in this, for Rumble, for this, they're coming out through the tunnels where the football team would come through. It's just some LED boards and some LED boards around the side, so you see the graphics for the wrestlers and everything. Really actually quite clever. I expected something big and bombastic, and good way, honestly, WWE to keep it subtle and keep it budget good, keep a good budget for it, right? Because you don't know what you're going to make off this show. And they just kind of give it something a little different and nice. And I like nice and simple. I appreciated it. It was good. The entrance, the rampway coming from there and around and curved. So they're kind of breaking up the crowd that way. Kind of weird, but it looked okay. It took a minute to kind of get used to it. So we did kick off with the Raw Tag Team Championships, which was AJ Styles and Omos defending their Raw Tag Team titles against RK Bro. And this match, not a long one. I didn't expect it to be. Riddle with his snake-inspired gear. Kind of neat. It was cool. It was a good way to start. The crowd got hot automatically with Randy Orton and Riddle coming out. Good way to get the match there, get the crowd kind of pumped, get them, like they're ready to, like whoever, I don't know. Omos was dominant in this match, and Riddle, he got worked over for the most of it. Randy was in there with AJ a lot, so it looked good. You get a hot tag to Orton I gotta put these somewhere where I can actually see them. You know what I'm saying? Let me set up my notes. I'm going old. I haven't done this in forever. Oh my goodness. So, oh my gosh, why is my phone like blowing the hell up? I'm live, damn it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. I don't know. I'm weird. If you're watching this, even if this is later on, I apologize that I'm a weirdo. I apologize that I am loud and sometimes very, very obnoxious. But I am me, and I am proud to be me, I suppose. So yeah, hot tag to Orton. He cleans AJ's clock. He keeps Omos kind of on the outside, kicking him in the knee at one point, so Omos is kind of down. He hits AJ with a draping DDT. AJ, though, gets, small distraction, gets the advantage, manages to kind of get a little bit of control. Matt Riddle gets chokeslammed on the apron by Omos after AJ Styles goes diving over the top rope on him. Riddle, though, does manage to shove Omos into the ring post, kind of keeping him down. Then AJ takes him out with the plancha over the top rope. Phenomenal forearm ducked by Randy Orton, who then goes for an RKO, but that gets blocked. He gets rolled up for a 2 count, hits the RKO out of nowhere, pins AJ Styles, and we have new Raw Tag Team Champions. And it was good. It was a good short match, a good opening match. You get the fan favorites, which I more than knew we were going to see those guys win. I was positive we were going to see those guys win. So that was good. Crowd was hot. RKO. They finally did the pose together. They finally posed. It just took, Riddle taking an ass whooping several times and, then saving Randy from getting beat up and then winning the titles and stuff for him to finally decide, I guess I'll pose with you. Why not? It was a good opening match. But we went from that opening match to what I deemed the worst match. The worst match of the night. With Eva Marie with Dewdrop versus Alexa Bliss. Oh. This match had no business being on this show. We could have cut this match. We could have gave a few more minutes to freaking Omos and AJ and RK Bros. We could have gave a little bit more time to the U.S. title match. We could have distributed this time anywhere else. Anywhere else. But no, we have Alexa Bliss who's getting hated for no reason. So you want to keep her away from the live crowd for at least a little bit. And then Eva Marie, who, even after being gone for 4 years, still can't wrestle. Although she was training her evolution and still can't wrestle. She botched going through the ropes. A simple little, I'm going to toss you through the ropes. She botched that. And look, I'm not a wrestler, but I could do that. I mean, I assume I could. Jesus Christ. You had some Wyatt chants. I think they dubbed that. I think they turned that volume down on that stuff. They didn't want to hear it. Eva, she does a go behind on Alexa, gets elbowed in the face the hard way, so she's kind of like slowing the pace down. She gets Alexa Bliss in a compromised situation, grabs the Lily doll, slaps that doll around, slaps Alexa Bliss with said doll, but the doll then does nothing. Even though when Dewdrop looked at the doll, it winked. But nothing with this. Alexa Bliss snaps, starts beating her ass. Dewdrop's refusing to do anything to help her. We get a Twisted Bliss off the top rope that misses. And then she tries to pin Alexa for a 2 count. Bliss does recover, hits a big DDT, like a spike DDT sorta, and does get the 3 count. And then afterwards, like I said, nothing happens. No weird voodoo, nothing. It's just, here's the match, and now Alexa's gone. Thanks for coming. And then Doudrop is mocking Eva Marie, and then just walks away. That's it. She just, leaves. And that's the segment. Lasted longer than I expected. I said maybe 3 minutes. And the match lasted, I think, about 5. From entrance to end, about 5 minutes. It was a match, right? Is that what I can say? It was a match. Mario Lopez was there, and he interviewed RK Bro, who talked about winning the titles, and Randy Orton talked about the most devastating letters and all of whatever, and all right, RK Bro, and then walked away. And Riddle's got a gift for him on Monday. Okay, that's so okay. And remember, we had an Alexa Bliss match with Eva Marie. Remember, that was a thing tonight. Wow. Great second match. But we did go to an actual good match for the United States Championship as Sheamus defended against Damian Priest. And this match was physical. I mean, super physical. And this is, to this point, Damian Priest's best match. And these two, at this point, and for a good majority of the show, had the best match on the whole show. Like I said, it was physical. Sheamus working the back most of the match. And that started after Damian Priest tried to pull off a step up over the top rope plancha. Where he barely connected. He took most of that on his back. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Oh, I hate having notes. I need one of those prompt things where I can just set it right here. And I can just kind of see what I'm looking at. And I'm kind of looking at you, but I can still look at that. So if you see me looking at it, I'm just looking through my notes. But yeah, Priest, he took most of it on his back. He gets caught while trying to give some kicks to Sheamus, but then gets rammed. He picks him up, rams his back into the post. Sheamus works over, he works over Priest, stopping most of his comebacks. You get a powerbomb by Sheamus, though. That gets turned into a Hurricanrana by Damian Priest, but then Sheamus hits him with a power slam. And he kind of taunts Damian Priest, kind of, just fucking with him, because that's what Sheamus does. That's his thing. Damian Priest, though, hits a tornado DDT, starting to make a comeback. Priest counters pretty much everything Sheamus starts throwing at him. Hits him with a top rope spin kick, hits a 2 count with that. Sheamus, though, counters a reckoning, gets a guillotine off the top rope by Sheamus. And then he hits an Alabama Slammer for 2. Some trash talk by Sheamus. They headbutt each other. And then you get a bro kick countered into a kick by Damian Priest, who then hits South of Heaven, which is a choke slam. He gets a 2 count. Damian Priest going for a springboard something or another, gets caught with a bro kick. I thought it was over then. I thought that was it. I thought that was going to be the whole match. But Sheamus only gets a 2 count. You get a cloverleaf attempt, which gets reversed into a small package. Then Sheamus with the heel hook. But Damian Priest, he escapes that by grabbing Sheamus' mask, ripping it off, and then starts punching Sheamus repeatedly. Starts to build some momentum. Hits him with a big spin kick. And then hits him with the reckoning for the 1, the 2, and the 3. Your new United States champion is Damian Priest. And it was a clean win, no chicanery, and that is how you build someone. And yes, Damian Priest winning the United States Championship is actually what they should do. It was at this point the best match of the night, and Damian Priest winning was absolutely the best decision they made, especially with Sheamus putting him over clean. You could say, well, he ripped the mask off to protect his nose. Ain't that kind of dirty? Maybe it was kind of dirty, but I don't know. You do what you got to do when you're trying to win a title, bro. What can I say? I think it was great. I liked this match. I think it was a fantastic match, and I think Damian Priest is now on his way to being a star. And in like 2 months, I'll be like, oh, WWE ruined Damian Priest. Because that's what they do. We move on, though, to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships as the Usos defend their championships against the Mysterios. Now, I predicted a heel turn by Dominic, and I was wrong. Yes, they have kind of planted some seeds, but not enough for me to be happy. I want bloodshed. I want to see Dominic rip his Poppy's mask off. I want to see him shove his eye into the corner. So this match started quick with a 619 attempt. A baseball slide by Rey Mysterio under the bottom rope onto both Usos, followed by one by Dominic. Dominic hits the Three Amigos, and it's funny because I know they were on YouTube or something watching the 2005 match between Rey and Eddie for custody of Dominic, and then we have Dominic literally hitting the Three Amigos, and Michael Cole says, "Oh, yes, this was a move by the late, great Eddie Guerrero, who Dominic considered so close, so he was almost like an uncle." And I was like, no, man. That's his dad. That's his freaking dad. What I mean, he's channeling his puppy. I don't know. But the Usos kind of cheat after the Three Amigos by pushing Dom off the top rope into the barricade. So the match slows down. It's just the Usos working Dominic over, because he's the inexperienced. He's the weak link. His dad would probably say so too. No, son, you have to straighten. Listen to me. All right, Dominic? I'm your papi. All right, La Familia. You listen to me. You're not good. You got pushed off the ropes. I don't know. That's terrible. It's a terrible Rey Mysterio impression. Never let me do that again. Jay, he's kind of, main event Uso. Hits, Dominic with a huge uppercut. You get Pat McAfee making a Street Fighter reference. Ayuk! Main event Jay then hits a couple of nice snap suplexes. He teases Dominic as Dominic's trying to make the tag, and his dad's like, "Come on, Dominic. Come on, son." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, go ahead. You want to do it?" And he grabs him, and they just beat him up some more. A suplex, though, is blocked by Dominic Mysterio into a neck breaker. Finally gets the hot tag to his dad. Rey, though, is in control. Hits a huge DDT on Jimmy, who's also got a hot tag. Back and forth they go. Some super kicks by Jimmy onto Rey. Rey sends, though, Jimmy to the outside. Goes for a springboard, but gets super kicked by Jay, who was the legal man at this point. Gets a 2 count. Dominic stops Jay, who's going to one corner, while Jimmy's on the other corner. They're going to do the double splash. But Dominic, for his troubles, gets suplexed onto his belly. But he still manages to distract Jay long enough for Rey to get his knees up when Jimmy goes for a frog splash. Jay, though, gets tagged in. Double super kick by the Usos as Dominic is still on the outside. Big splash by Jay Uso for the 3 count. Main event, Jay and his brother Jimmy, the Usos, retain their tag team championships. It was what it was. It lived up to being a good match, as, I and many others believed it would be. Yeah, so do we move on from this? Do we start building to Rey, like maybe on SmackDown? Rey's trying to blame, his son, and he's like, "Nah, Dad, you got pinned. Oh, knock you out. Must knock you out. That's for not letting Aaliyah date Buddy Murphy." Now we don't know where Buddy is. Yeah. I don't fucking know. Anything could happen. But we do get a Damian Priest interview with, gosh dang it, I know her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Tiffany Haddish. Yes, that was it. Tiffany Haddish interviews him, and he's talking about being U.S. champ. Okay. Then we get Rick Boogs in the ring. He says, we're just here to play King Nakamura's music, and that's it. That's what we're here to do. And that's what he did. Nakamura came out, Pat's on the freaking table with them while they're rocking out. That's what it was. It was what it was. I don't know what else to tell you. I like Rick Boogs, man. I like his, and I love seeing him. See, the thing is, like, you look at, like, Raw, you got Corey Graves, who's really good at his job. You got Byron Saxton, who's there, and Jimmy Smith is actually really good, surprisingly. But they're very straightforward. We're the commentators. We don't stray outside of our box. You know, this is their box, and they stay in their box, okay? They stay in this thing. But then you get Pat McAfee, who's very much himself on thing. I'm guessing Vince McMahon, he's giving him a lot of slack to just do what he's going to do. Stay within this circle, right? But I'm going to give you some slack to touch the edges, okay? And he's just up there shredding, man. Like, Pat McAfee looks like he's genuinely having a good time. And he's always animated, always boisterous. And I haven't really had a chance to talk about Pat McAfee, but damn, he's really entertaining. And I don't know, he's hard on himself and says he's not that good, but I disagree. And he's freaking entertaining. What can I say? So this leads us to what I thought was going to be really great and then did not be that good. It's time for Bianca Belair to defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against not Sasha Banks. I said this morning in the preview and predictions, if you go back and watch it, it's weird and no one's bringing it up. Sasha wasn't at SmackDown last night. I'm thinking maybe she's not going to be in the match. I'm thinking this is where they introduced Becky Lynch. That's what I said. I also predicted she could be a part of the Raw Women's match, but clearly I'm wrong on that. God knows what they're doing over there. Worry about it then. But I'm like, nah, they're still promoting it. Like, they ran the whole promotional package. Like, nope, they're doing the match. But then Bianca comes out first. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're teasing us. Maybe they're just messing with us, right? Mind games. And I was thinking, well, maybe they'll just play her music and then she doesn't come out. And it's just kind of like a tease, right? At this point, I'm like, I don't think she's coming. And they announce Sasha Banks is unable to compete tonight. That's all we get. Funny, she just came back and is already unable to compete. But I won't speculate. God forbid I would do that, right? I mean, geez, I might say something that's offensive to somebody. So, they said her opponent is, and you hear the Becky, and before they can even really go in, the most beautiful woman in the world, Carmella. And I'm like, what? Twitter blew up. Twitter had a meltdown. They're like, what? So she comes out, and she's doing her thing, and then Bianca's like, all right, Sasha, you and me, we're going to have this at some point for this title. You're wrong, but that's what she said. And then she said she's going to take out her frustration on Carmella. And before that bell could even ring, Becky Lynch's music hits. Crowd goes completely nutso. She looks great. She looks healthy. She looks like she's in a great physical shape. Hair looked all good on point. The eye makeup was on point. Because, you know, my wife likes for me to point things like that out. Her eye makeup was on point. By the way, Bianca's outfit was looking fly, if you know what I mean. No, she wasn't showing a bunch of boobie. But she had like a whole bunch of the women's title belts and then her lips on it. And it looked great. It looked really good. She was on point. Anyways, Becky comes out. Crowd's going nuts. Becky just clocks Carmella finally. Kicks her ass. Gets back in the ring. They have a real epic stare down. The crowd's like, holy shit. Holy shit. And then she gets the mic. She says, how about the EST and the man go one-on-one for the SmackDown Women's title right now? And Bianca's like, oh, it's on. Like, when she heard, like, she looked so disinterested when she saw Carmella. But the moment she heard Becky's music, like, Bianca perked up. She was like, oh, okay. Like, she was marking out herself. Like, oh my God, it's Becky Lynch. She's coming out here. I wonder what could happen. I'm excited. Oh, she wants a piece of me? Let's go. So they agree. They ring the bell. Becky's wearing a new shirt. The man is back in Vegas. Cool. Limited edition shirt. Won't be seen again. Don't care. Not flocking to get that one like I did the CM Punk shirt. Anyway, that was hard as shit to get, by the way. I had to go several times to try to get that shirt. But, so Becky offers her hand. And I'm like, all right, we're about to have maybe a good 10-minute banger. These two are going to just go at it. This is going to be interesting, right? And then Becky punches her in the face, hits her with let me read this. The manhandle slam, 1, 2, 3. I wasn't even done writing the freaking sentence where she said she accepted. And the match was over and Becky was the champion. I would normally be like, fuck yeah, Becky Lynch is the man again. Because I like Becky Lynch. But, however, in this situation, after everything they've invested into Sasha Banks and Bianca, after how much they've invested in Bianca herself, and I know they're going to have a rematch, probably at Extreme Rules, and it will be an actual proper match. It'll probably end up being a triple threat: Sasha, Bianca, and Becky. But either way, it's like, why did you bury Bianca like that? What was the point in burying Bianca for the sake of Becky? You could have got to this match without Becky even having to, like, if you're concerned with, like, she's just back, we don't want to rush into her in a big match, we want to give her some time, then have her come out after Bianca squashes Carmella. You already brought Carmella out there, you embarrassed her, you embarrassed Bianca for the sake of one person to look good. You could have done this a completely different way. You could have let Bianca have the match. Carmella could have had, like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds of offense in the whole match, and then Bianca could have wiped the floor with her. Didn't break even much of a sweat. And then Becky's music hits. Becky comes out. The big crowd pop. Everyone's like, yes, Becky's back, baby. And then she comes and says, hey, you have something I never lost. That's a women's championship. I want that. You, me. Yes or no? And Bianca would be like, hell yeah. And then we could have the match at Extreme Rules. Or you could build it to a SmackDown, like a big SmackDown, right? You could go either way, but they did neither way. Instead, you know, this crowd who was popping big for Becky is like, yes, Becky's back. And then like, yay, Becky? Do I cheer for her? Or should, because I like Bianca and she just kind of screwed over Bianca. Well, she didn't screw her over. Technically, she was within rules. She just punched her in the face and got her moving quick. It happens. But it still was like they didn't know how to react because how the match went, it wasn't even like 20 seconds. It was like 11, 12 seconds long. And that was it. Maybe 30 seconds. Maybe. But that was it. So you end up, I mean, no one really cares about Carmella. Let's just swipe left with her, right? But you buried someone who you've put a lot into as the champ. promoting. This many days as champion. This many days as champion. Look, this is Bianca Belair. Won the SP. Main evented WrestleMania. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And, you know, you could have just had her wrestle Carmella, and then they could have met, and they could have agreed, and then had a fully proper match. But we didn't do that, and you killed whatever momentum you had gained with Becky in that moment. You killed it right away. For what? Why? Why does WWE always feel the need to bring in talent to knock down other talent? Isn't part of the pro wrestling business to help build each other up? You want to build up your opponents, right? Sasha comes back, screws over Bianca, talks trash like she didn't do shit. And I get it, she's a heel, it's her job. But then Becky comes back. She didn't need the title right away. She didn't. But that's what they decided to do. I don't get it. I don't understand. And I like Becky. I am a legitimate Becky fan. But I don't get the reason. Bianca is a newer talent to this roster than Becky. Becky's been SmackDown Women's Champ before. A few times. She didn't need it again. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't. So I don't understand why. I sound so whiny right now. But seriously, why? Why did they feel the need to do that? Here I'm going, why? Why? That's how I should say it. Why Simon's here? Why? I don't it killed your momentum for Bianca. You killed the momentum for Becky before you even got it going. And what are we going to do? She's going to show up on SmackDown. The man's back. Champ's back. Bianca's going to come out. Talk trash to her. They're going to agree to another match eventually. And then Bianca's going to lose again. Because you're certainly not going to bring Becky back to just have her lose again. No. Bianca's time over as champ. Time's over. Oh, God. I already opened the water. What am I doing? Like, didn't make no sense. So, Tynra, I can't pronounce her name. I've not heard her name. Tanya Mensakastak, I don't know. She's a U.S. Olympian who won gold. I don't know her name. I apologize. And then Gable Stevenson, whose fucking name I've heard everywhere. Come out to wave to the crowd because they won the Olympic gold medals in wrestling. Gable Stevenson coming to the WWE. He just is, okay? And they're going to shorten his name to Gable Steve. Steve Gable. Gable Steve. Gable Steve. Then we get Jinder Mahal versus Drew fucking McIntyre. This was the last match I watched as I was packing to leave work. And one, it's a quick match. Duh. Like it was going to be some 20-minute barn burner. Drew basically squashed Jinder. He beat the piss out of him, hit him with the fucking Claymore, and sent his ass on his way. As he should. His hanky and panky, took him out as Drew grabbed the sword and threatened to stab people. They dragged off Jinder's body. And that was that segment. And then we went to the Raw Women's Championship match. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Okay, so, again, in case you missed it, yes, I missed pretty much all of that match. I had to go back and kind of catch up while I was trying to watch the show as it was live. It wasn't a terrible match. I'm not going to shit on it and say it was bad. I don't agree with the booking. Okay, I'm not going to go on a big 10-minute rant like I just did about Becky. But this match was your typical triple threat. 2 people in the ring, 1 on the outside, occasional double team move here, rinse and repeat. And it was meant for us to believe that the underdog, that is Nikki A.S.H., almost the superhero, could win. And in reality, even though if you go by go-home math, which a lot of people in this YWC, IWC, whatever, do, it didn't exactly pan out. You had the big moves, finish attempts and diving moves and cross bodies and fighting on the outside, and you had all that stuff. But unfortunately, despite having all of that, I will say one of her best times, Charlotte doing the corkscrew moonsault off of the top to the outside, hitting them. It was actually better than usual. She actually kind of caught him this time. But then you get a figure 8 and Charlotte wins. Why'd you even take the title off of her if ultimately you were just trying to give the belt to her? What are we trying to... Because we took away those NXT title runs? So we have to play catch up now? Why? I said in my preview that, Charlotte's probably going to win. I'm picking Rhea, but Charlotte's probably going to win. I saw no way of Nikki winning. I thought maybe give it to Rhea. Is that where we're going? We're going to go Rhea and Charlotte? Or are we going to go Charlotte and Nikki again? As much as I disagree with Bianca losing and Becky being the champ, at least I see a fresh direction, right? A fresher direction over there. Okay, I'm not sick of Sasha and Bianca. I'm not sick of Bianca and Becky. And certainly when Bayley comes back, that's going to be interesting too. With all 3 of those, it's a really interesting dynamic. You have 3 of the 4 horsewomen on there. Fuck, put Charlotte on SmackDown. We can have a fucking Survivor Series team for SmackDown of the 4 horsewomen, man. The 4 horsewomen and Bianca for Survivor Series. Fuck yeah! That'd be great, right? Anyways, I'm squirrel. I don't see a clear, fresh direction for Raw. Hey Vince. What do we do with Charlotte? She just won the title. Ha! We take her off of her. We give it to Nikki Ash. Yeah, maybe. Maybe she wins the championship. And then, with some merch. Yeah. So they make a couple shirts. They bring her to SummerSlam after embarrassing her several fucking times. Embarrassing her several times from the time she won the championship all the way up till now. She won 1 match since she won the title. 4, 5 weeks of television. I was there. The Raw, 4 weeks. I was there the Raw after she won the title. She lost to Charlotte. Had the rematch with Charlotte the next week, and she barely beat Charlotte. Then she lost to Rhea 1-on-1. Then lost in a tag team match. And then she lost another match. I don't remember what it was. But she literally lost all but 1 match since winning the championship. But, she's almost a superhero. So if you believe, you too can almost achieve what you want to do. You just got to believe, right? Because that's how I'm a superhero, right? Oh, yeah, that's me, man. Thanks. I tried to do my Vince impression. But yeah, Nikki almost sucks. No. It's no longer Nikki almost a superhero. It's Nikki absolutely sucks. I don't know. Make up another word. I don't fucking know. But she's certainly not good. And they proved that. And they put the title right back on Charlotte. Why? Why? She doesn't draw? What are we going to do? Rhea versus Charlotte part 7? 8? 10,000? I don't fucking know. Or is it going to be, Nikki, I lost last night, but I almost won. If I just try a little harder. And then what? We're going to have a put a rocket up my ass and fly away match at Extreme Rules between those two. So Nikki really does fly. Yeah. She'll be a superhero. She can fly her ass out of WWE. That's it. Nikki absolutely sucks like hurricane. There we go. Just gotta adjust the initial sum. I hated it, and I missed most of that match. That's sad. That despite the fact that I missed most of that match, I still think it sucks. I just do. I just think it sucks. And I'm not even mad Charlotte won. I just think with you sending Becky to SmackDown, and now Charlotte is the champion on Raw, and who they gonna bring Asuka? That's not fresh either. Who else is on Raw? Who else is on Raw that could face her? That's not Rhea, not Nikki, not Asuka, not Nia Jax. Maybe Shayna Baszler would be interesting, but she would just lose. She would just fucking lose anyways. There's no one. There's no one on the Raw roster. They really need to get this draft done and over with. October cannot come soon enough for this draft. But I'm telling you, they need to add at least one big piece. You haven't watched SummerSlam yet? Oh man, you're gonna get spoilers. Spoiler alert! Becky Lynch is on SmackDown. I won't tell you why. Becky Lynch is on SmackDown. I'll just tell you that, man. Thank you, Dan, for jumping in and saying hello. Warden went to sleep. Well, there you go. Tell Sandy I said hi whenever she wakes up next time. But that was the Raw Women's Championship. Sasha, is on SmackDown. Bianca's on SmackDown. And they don't have much of a division over there either. But at least there's some bigger name value right now. At least 4 names that they'll be able to work with. There's no one on Raw. I'm telling you, look, I'm going to look up the Raw women's roster, okay? That's what I'm going to do right now and hope that my stream doesn't die. Let's look. WWE Raw women's roster 2021. Okay. Here's who they have. This is sad. You can take one of these people off. Becky Lynch is no longer a part of that roster. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Charlotte, Dana Brooke, Eva Marie, Doudrop, and Lacey Evans, who's pregnant. That is your Raw women's roster. Oh man, can't wait to see that Eva Marie Charlotte match. It's going to be Alexa Bliss. Watch. It's going to be Alexa Bliss. That's sad and scary. That is both sad and scary. I'm terrified. I'm legitimately terrified. So, I'm going to look at my my analytics here. Okay, so yeah, that looks good. So, all right, so I'm gonna move on. So I still have 3-4 more matches to get through, and it's already almost 12:30 here. So let's move on to a match that I actually did enjoy, and that's Edge versus Seth Rollins. By far the best match of the night. These two men, not only was the build good, not only was everything else they have really good when it came to these two, their entrances, their promos, everything was great, and they delivered on it in the match. Delivered beautifully. It was a long match, probably about 20-25 minutes, but it was good. And yes, Dan, I'm sorry, Dracos, Diablos. Yes, they wasted Asuka, but I could care less to see Asuka stay gone for another 4 months. I don't freaking care. Don't need to see her involved either. Just being real. Anyway, so they have the match. Seth, he comes out in his Pirates gear with the cool speckled pants that are black with gold and the white bottoms. Almost looked like he was like and my buddy JD would appreciate this. He almost looked like he was maybe from like the Power Rangers Ninja Force or Ninja whatever. I don't know. He looked like he could have been a Power Ranger sort of. Edge coming out with the Brood theme to start. Coming up through that little thing on the floor was freaking cool, man. And then I'm over it. She's going to be bombarded with crap until they change it. And it's not because I think she shouldn't be. I just feel like, honestly, man, they're just going to keep giving her shit. So he comes with the Brood stuff, and then it goes into his, his you think you know me, dude, So Seth goes for the neck right away. Doesn't waste time, goes right for Edge's neck. That would be a sweet Dracos Diablos. That would be actually pretty cool for a hot sauce. I'm going to create my own hot sauce. I'm going to give it that name. I'll give you credit for it. Jahns. It'd be Jahns Dracos Diablos hot sauce. Made with the freshest habanero. Spicy. So I'm losing track. Oh, hey, go back to the beginning of my laughter with Paul Heyman's reactions. I just want a whole video of just Paul Heyman reactions during matches. So yeah, Seth went for the neck right away. So Seth, he's already, I'll show it. Seth's frustrated early. Edge is taking advantage. Edge misses a baseball slide. As Seth actually rams Edge head and back first into the ring post twice, and then starts slamming his head into the steps. And this is where the match starts to turn into Seth just working the neck, trying to wear down Edge and getting really creative. Seth gets cocky, goes for a neck breaker, but that gets reversed into a backslide for only a 2 count. They're both fighting on the top rope, but Edge gets knocked down. A frog splash by Edge off the top rope, or as Pat McAfee, a 5-star frog splash. Only got a 2, so maybe it was a 4-star. I don't know. Then they're back on the top rope, fighting for position. Edge, and my God, Edge, no man, does a swinging neck breaker off of the top rope to the mat. It looked gnarly when they landed. It looked rough. Execution for a 2 count. More back and forth fighting between these two guys. Edge with his top rope superplex into the Falcon Arrow pin combination only gets him a 2. He starts mocking Edge in the corner, like he's setting up for a spear, but he goes for the stomp, which he misses. And he misses that. Edge goes for something, then hits him, then goes for a pedigree, but Edge counters that into a glam slam for a count of 2. Edge then gets hung up on the top rope, then gets hit with the neck breaker over the middle rope. Seth goes for another stomp on the apron as Edge is hanging through the ropes. Misses that. Edge then knocks him, kind of hits him, then goes for a spear through the middle rope. They both go to the floor hard. Rollins gets rammed head first into the LED board on the side of the ring. Seth, though, then heads up top, misses a corkscrew dive, gets hit with a spear, Edge with a super close 2 count. Edge he's selling the neck at this point. He looks like he's in pain. He might have actually been in some legit pain. You get some "this is awesome" chants. You get a blow to the back of Edge's head. He's down on his knees, and then Seth hits him with a second head, kicks him in the head. Seth goes for a stomp, but Edge rolls over from being on his stomach onto his back, catches Seth's boot, pushes him off, and then gets him in, and this is a move he hasn't pulled in a long time, gets him into the Educator, that submission hold, the Educator. Seth, though, does manage to get out of that, rolls Edge up in a roll-up for only a 2 count, but then he gets put into a crossface by Edge, and he's trying to fight out. He almost gets out a couple times, but Edge actually grabs Seth by the head and starts slamming his head on the mat repeatedly, and then puts him back in the crossface, but instead of doing a typical crossface, he puts him in like a headlock and starts to choke Seth out while in a crossface, and Seth taps out. Edge, who I didn't think needed the victory, but got the victory anyways, beats Seth Rollins in, yes, what was absolutely the best match of the fucking night. Damn. Ooh, I'd do those. That'd be hot as shit, but yeah, I'd do that. So, man, these two delivered. They delivered, unquestionably delivered this match. It was brilliant from top to bottom. It was excellent. An excellent match. I don't know what more I can say. If you haven't watched the show yet, like my buddy here on the chat, go back and watch it. Go back and watch. If nothing else, look up this match. It's worth it, and I want to see these two do it again. But I do think if they do it a second time, like at Extreme Rules, which is probably what's going to happen, Seth's going to stomp his head into the mat, and Seth's going to put Edge out until at least the Rumble. Perhaps longer. I think it would be a trilogy. Edge will win this one, Seth will win the second one, and then they can do a third one at next year's WrestleMania. Edge can win that and retire. Or no, Seth can win it, and Edge can retire and go off into the sunset. That's my prediction for the future of these two and their rivalry. Fuck yeah. I think that'd be a good story. WWE announced 4th of July weekend next year, Money in the Bank comes to Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. That's going to be a big-ass show. And it's going to be probably more packed for that show. So, might have to try to go to that next year. Hey, Vegas, I'm here. That's if I don't try to go to Double or Nothing first. If that's in Vegas, we'll see, right? Then we get such a dumb blah, 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 blah. We get such a dumb segment. Miz and Morrison come out to do stuff and things. And they're going to introduce a special thing, the Dripstick 2000. They don't get it out there. Xavier Woods has it. And it's the big water tank hooked up to a spray gun. And Yeah, in Sin City next year for Money in the Bank, it's gonna be like a tie-in with the casinos and shit. It's gonna be like cashing in, like it's gonna be like a casino themed. I guarantee you, it's gonna be pretty cool. But anyways, yeah. So you got Xavier Woods, who his gear was excellent. It was very much NWO inspired, but also like Scott Hall inspired with the jacket with the freaking Razor Ramon, the razors and everything, but they're all red with black. And he had the gold chains and the hair slicked back with the curl and the toothpick, and he did the hey yo, which fell flat. Like no one in the crowd picked up on what he was trying to do. So WWE, that's your indication that people don't know what Scott Hall and the survey and stuff is anymore. Don't do it again. But anyways, he sprays them, soaks them, and that's the segment. I was hoping to see Kofi with some Kevin Nash gear or some Diesel shit. Like I was hoping, right? One can hope. Stone Cold did the drip 2000 with the beer hose. Fuck yeah. He did it better. So now to the most decisive match of the night, for sure. And that is for the WWE Championship with the almighty Bobby Lashley with MVP in his corner. Defends that championship against Goldberg. This went longer than I predicted. I said 3 minutes. I said that earlier for another match. Yeah, that either way. But this went longer than 3 minutes. It went like 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, they did a lot of shit. And no one looked good coming out of this. Like, at all. So, spoiler, train wreck ahead. I'm just letting you know. Train wreck ahead. Make him a drink. All right. So they come out, and their entrances were probably the best part of this whole show. By far the best part of their whole show. So they lock up. Goldberg, 52-year-old Goldberg, is going to outpower Bobby Lashley. Gets him into the corner. Lashley tries to go after him, but Goldberg slams him not once, but 2 times. Not a spear, not a jackhammer, a slam. And he almost dropped him. Almost dropped him both times. How ridiculous is that? Damn near drops him twice. Then it's like, I don't know, like Lashley didn't know what to do. It looked very clunky at first. Like Lashley was, I guess, trying to let Goldberg lead, but Goldberg was like, I'm going to take him over here. And then Lashley tried to like reverse something, but then Goldberg would like just clothesline him. And he's getting booed. This crowd was like, fuck you, Goldberg. Fuck you. So Lashley finally starts to fight back. He goes for a jackhammer. Goldberg blocks it. He goes for a jackhammer, but drops Lashley right back down and starts grabbing his leg. Like his leg had gave out. He's booed some more. Goldberg, though, he can't hit the jackhammer. So Lashley starts clobbering him. He starts to clobber him. Probably so. I get you now. Oh, can't say. Lashley's clobbering Goldberg, but Goldberg fights back. He sets Lashley up for a spear. Lashley gets pulled out from under the bottom rope by MVP. So MVP's literally getting chants of MVP for cheating. That's where this crowd is. Vegas, y'all really are a bunch of bad people. So Goldberg comes to the outside and spears Lashley anyways. Rolls Lashley back into the ring. Only gets a 2 count. He sets him up for another spear. And I might be wrong with the whole 2 count spot. But anyways, MVP hits him in the leg with his cane. And Goldberg kind of turns around and holds his leg. And then gets a chop block by Bobby Lashley. That's where we are right now. Don't you love it? A big slam by Bobby Lashley. He goes for a hurt lock, but Goldberg fights out of that. But then somehow Lashley maintains control, rams Goldberg into the post on the outside twice, picking him up on his shoulders and running his knee into it. Because at this point, he's working Goldberg's knee. Goldberg gets Goldberg back in the ring. He's setting him up for his own spear. Goldberg tries to get up, falls back down, keeps trying, gets up, and then falls right back down on his ass. Like comically, I'm standing up and I just... and then falls, and the ref calls the match. And Lashley wins by forfeit. So, we can't have Goldberg get pinned by the WWE champion because he's not Drew McIntyre. Got to protect Goldberg. A 52-year-old man. We got to protect him. And he still looked weak. Lashley still looked weak. So, as soon as the match is over, here comes a chair sliding into the fucking ring. So Lashley starts beating up the leg, starts beating up Goldberg. And at this point, I'm like, oh my God, this is like stupid. This is ridiculous. So while Lashley's beating up Goldberg, all of a sudden, here comes Goldberg's son, Gage, jumps on Lashley from behind. Lashley grabs him, tosses him back over, and puts that little boy in the hurt lock. And I got happy. I audibly was like, yes! Beat him up! I'm a bad person. I know. I'm a bad person for being happy to watch a child get put in a hurt lock by Bobby Lashley. But I enjoyed it. I can't lie. I liked watching Gage Goldberg get put in a hurt lock. And Lashley was just like, dropped him, like, bitch. And then MVP's like, well, you know, Bobby Lashley didn't know it was a child. It could have been anybody. And I'm like, nah, he knew who that was. He just didn't care. So I'm like, okay, cool. Ends the feud. But then Goldberg crawls to his son and is like, I'm going to kill you. Which means they're probably going to continue this feud. You're probably going to get Goldberg and Lashley in Saudi Arabia in October. God damn it. And watch, Lashley wins and Lashley will lose in Saudi Arabia, and then Goldberg will drop the title, I don't know, in like December. Or at the Rumble. It was the best part of the match, watching little Gage Goldberg get put in a hurt lock and beat up. But it's probably going to lead to Goldberg versus Lashley in Saudi. And we're probably going to see those two go at it. And we're probably going to watch Goldberg beat Bobby Lashley. Because, you know, Vince wants money. So, it's time to talk about probably the second best match of the entire show. And that was your Universal Championship match. As John Cena, complete with new ring gear already. But I will say, John Cena's new logo and t-shirts are actually pretty good. They show the hat that says 16 up, and it's Mario themed, like Super Mario Brothers theme, Super Mario Brothers 3 themed, like Mario floating with the tail and shit. It actually was really kind of interesting. So he's got a t-shirt, it's red, and it's got like all the different championships in like 8-bit, 8-bit look, with the dates that he won, and it all looks very like Mario themed. And it's awesome looking. He gets into the ring, and then Roman, his big, massive entrance. I've never openly hated Roman on the channel, but I was never really a big fan. I was just like, hey, you like him. I'm not gonna hate him. He's good for something. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the position he's in. So he comes out, big entrance. I'm loving Roman Reigns. You just wait. You'll see. So they have their match. It definitely is a big fight feel. Crowd is super hyped. Reigns and coming out. So simple. Just the black pants and the title with Paul Heyman behind, and he's just got that around his neck, and it's a big feel, right? And the show wasn't great, but this felt good. So Cena trying to get into Roman's head to kind of start the match, and doing some roll-ups. Only need 1, 2, 3. And you see it kind of works. But then Roman starts to build momentum. He starts to kind of methodically work over John Cena. And Michael Cole compares it to John Cena in 2014 when he kind of got handled by a certain somebody, but he didn't say the name. It's a good point. He didn't say the name of the said person who beat up John Cena in 2014. But we will. Oh, we will. So, Cena, though, he keeps trying to fight back, repeatedly keeps trying to fight back. This is a slow plotting match. I know it's not good for a lot of people, but with the Reigns character, it's good. It's good. He's a big guy who's methodical and thinks about what he wants to do. He doesn't just rush in and beat somebody up. Dude, I borderline drool over Roman Reigns. That's a joke. My wife does. So yeah, Cena's trying to fight back, but just Reigns just keeps stomping him back out. Just like, nope. He's trash talking him. Cena attempts a roll up, gets a 2 count, but gets put right into another sleeper. Cena does get to his feet and then backs Reigns into the corner, followed by a short arm clothesline, gets a 2 count. Cena starts to build that momentum. Goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle. He's down in front of him. You can't see me. And Reigns grabs him and puts him in a guillotine choke. And he's just choking the shit out of Cena. Cena, though, does get out of the guillotine. Roman then goes for the Superman punch. Hits that. Goes for the spear, but that is countered into a kick. Cena hits him with another 5. Finally does hit him with the 5-knuckle shuffle. But he's like further away. Goes for the AA, gets a 2 count. Gets him into an STF, but Reigns gets to the ropes. Roman rolls to the outside. Cena follows him. As Cena's by the apron, Reigns hits him with the drive-by. Cena gets back to his feet. So Reigns, you see, audibly, he's just very frustrated. He's like talking to himself like, God damn it, mother. So he comes to the outside, starts to run around the ring like he's going to do a spear, and then John Cena picks him up, hits him with the AA through the announce table, gets him back into the ring, gets only a 2 count. He goes up top, goes for the old top rope leg drop. Reigns catches him, hits him with a powerbomb, kind of doing a callback to Batista and Cena at past SummerSlams. I believe it was 2008 when Cena broke his neck, by the way. Where am I? Yeah, so he gets that. That's a 2 count. You get a missed Superman punch into a roll-up for a 2 count. You get a Superman punch by Reigns for a 2 count. Reigns psychs himself up. He's punching himself, getting... misses the spear, hits his shoulder into the post. Cena then gets him up on the top rope. Hits Reigns with the Super AA. 1... 2. 2 count. Reigns kicks out of the Super AA. Super close 2 count. Cena then gets in the corner, mocks Roman, does the ooh, goes for a spear of his own. Roman kicks him. They go some back and forth. Yay, boo, yay, boo. Then you get back-to-back Superman punches. Reigns hits the spear. 1, 2, 3. Our head of the table, our tribal chief, retains his Universal Championship. Cena rolls out of the ring to go right back to Hollywood. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship. man, that was a great ending to the show, right? Right? And then here comes the pain. Brock fucking Lesnar makes his way to the ring. And Paul, I know I went over this earlier, but if you're tuning in late and you missed part of it, Heyman, no, like on his knees, cowering in the corner, clutching the Universal Championship, staring Brock Lesnar as his eyes turn red with fear from the tears. Here comes big boy Brock, beefy Brock, man bun with the shaved head, the big fucking goatee and the beard. Oh my goodness. He's in jeans, by the way. So you know Brock means business. He's in fucking jeans. Oh, no. There was some Cena sucks chants at the beginning. There was some Cena sucks chants at the beginning of the show. But here comes Brock. And it's just, I love that visual of Paul Heyman pleading. And like, you see Reigns and him, they're staring off, and you can just hear Heyman in the background, no. And as they're leaving, like, Reigns is like, oh, fuck. Like, I've never beat Brock but once. And Paul Heyman had legit fear. Just Paul Heyman alone is going to make that a good thing. And yeah, they're going to go probably face each other in Saudi Arabia. I definitely don't see them facing each other at Extreme Rules. I think you'll get Finn Balor next month, and then they'll go to Lesnar at the bigger show in Saudi in October. You know, that's what they do. So, but that was SummerSlam, man. That was SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar's back. Becky Lynch is back. And that's the big surprise. Is that they needed a bigger surprise. And no offense to Becky Lynch, but that's not a CM Punk-like thing. So CM Punk, yes. Brock Lesnar's a face. He was in just a plain black t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. No, it was like a black tank top. And jeans with boots. And he has the man bun and the beard. And it's like, don't make him shave it. I want to see that Brock Lesnar beat the piss out of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is still going to beat him. All right, he's not losing until WrestleMania, y'all. Demon Finn? No, it'd be just regular Finn. I think they'll bust out Demon Finn like WrestleMania or some shit like that. But that was it. That was SummerSlam, man. That was definitely SummerSlam, and it was a show. No, it didn't feel too long or anything. It just, you're right. Dracos Diablos. CM Punk did break the internet. I tried to get my CM Punk Best in the World t-shirt, and it took me 3 tries before I could finally get it. 3 or 4 tries. So, there's still TakeOver tomorrow night. The weekend's not over. Rampage last night with CM Punk breaking the internet. Brock Lesnar's probably breaking the internet tonight not because he returned, because they let him return with that beautiful beard and that man bun. And he was in jeans. Brock Lesnar was in jeans. It was like he just came straight off the farm into the ring. I'll bet you money. We'll hear a report where they literally flew Brock in like minutes before he did the thing, and he was just in whatever he was wearing when he left. I am happy Brock's back. I'm cool with Brock being a face taking on Roman. I feel like they could have pushed this back further, but it's fine. I'm also worried because Brock Lesnar is not known for his mic skills. Look it up. It's not good. Unless he's like serious, like edited camera where it's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Then Brock's pretty good. He's scary. So, but that's going to do it for me. I am finished for the night. I hope you all have yourself a really great night. Get some sleep. NXT TakeOver is tomorrow night. Y'all need to watch that shit. Stay tuned for a little treat at the end of this that you guys can watch. So, I was Zach. Remember, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and above all else, Join the nation. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need my older brother.